Welcome everyone to another episode of our Foundations 101 webcast series, where today we will discuss the ongoing obligations of UAE foundations. And for that, I invited our director, Marcia Rocha. Marcia, welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Kath. Thank you for the invitation.
Pleasure. So, Marcia, I believe that this is extremely topical as there are nearly, 2,300 foundations incorporated in the UAE so far, obviously comprising the three centers, ADGM, the IFC, and RAC ICC. And we are aware of the concerning number of opportunistic service providers incorporating foundations and not exactly knowing what to do with it afterwards, which was what I discussed with Jan in our last webcast. So I believe this is a very good opportunity to talk about the ongoing obligations of a foundation and what people need to know after incorporating one, right? So let's begin. Can you please go through the most important compliance obligations of a foundation in any of the three centers?
Absolutely, Kath. It's super important, especially if we consider that foundations registered or established in the UAE across the financial centers, the IFC, ADGM, and also Ras Al Khaimah, the International Corporate Center. They share a core number of obligations, right? But what happens is that both clients and corporate service providers altogether tend to focus only on the basics. And what are those basics? To begin with, it's obviously maintaining your registered office or your registered address and renewing your license every 12 months. However, it goes a little bit beyond that, and foundations are actually required to comply with a little bit more. So, let's go through, Kath, the obligations of a foundation. So, what we also recommend, obviously, is that foundations always maintain appropriate records. So we start with statutory records. We also focus on accounting records and particularly, Kath, I think this is worth mentioning, filing regulatory changes with the registrars. So what happens is most of the times changes occur, clients are not aware, filings are done after the deadline, which is actually 14 days, Kath, once the change is made, and that basically results in unwanted fines or penalties.
Yeah.
So this is something that
that's very important because sometimes there is a change in the council members or changing the qualified recipients and they are not aware of the fact that they need to inform the register and they only do these changes within the bylaws or the governing documents of the foundation. So that's very important. Yeah.
Absolutely, Kath. And in addition to that, also, we never know. What we are experiencing is an increasing number also of requests for on-site assessments, requests for inspections from the regulators. And what happens is if we don't have the necessary documentation ready, we have a limited time frame to comply with those requirements. And again, we're exposing the foundation to unwanted fines, okay, or scrutiny even from the regulators for non-compliance, which is a situation all of us want to avoid. Aside from that, if we focus on specific jurisdictions, so let's give as an example the DIFC, the financial centers, the DIFC and EDGM, we also should be focused on complying under data protection regulations and under international transparency standards such as FATCA and the Common Reporting Standard. These are very important. And coming back to the DIFC as well, there was a recent change which now mandates all entities, foundations included, to file their annual accounts within 6 months of completion of the financial year, Kath. This was not there before, so this also emphasizes the need for us to keep constant updates and to keep in touch with the regulators and the registrars to make sure we are aware of these changes.
Just to make clear, what was not there before? The filing of the account.
Correct. So we were looking at filing only the accounts of foundations that met or exceeded a specific threshold, and that threshold was placed at $5 million US. Now it is not the case. So now the auditing requirements are more focused on corporate tax requirements, meaning if a foundation is going to be tax transparent, if a foundation is going to be deemed, let's say, as able to benefit from a free zone relief, then those auditing requirements will vary. But regardless, foundations now have to file their accounts with the DIFC. That's an important change.
Every year. Okay.
Every year. Aside from that, Kath, it's also very important to ensure that from a corporate tax perspective, and corporate tax and governance are now aligned more than ever. If we want to demonstrate a specific substance or create substance, demonstrate substance in the UAE, it's very important that we encourage the council to hold meetings frequently with their presence, their physical presence
Here.
actually in the UAE. So
Yeah.
this should be aligned with the type of transactions, of course, with the frequency of transactions altogether. But it's very important to maintain that because, again, we're focusing on being compliant. So whether a foundation applies for tax transparency or is able to benefit from a free zone relief, we have to bear that in mind. And obviously that will determine additional requirements, such as, for example, filing annual corporate tax returns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Understood. Okay, well, that's great. Thanks, Marcia, for your input, and I hope this was insightful to the audience and create awareness in terms of what to do after incorporating the foundation. And for those of you who want, there is a QR code that is now showing in the screen. If you scan this QR code, it will lead you to an email that you can send to us, and then we will send you a fact sheet which summarizes everything that Marcia just said. And I hope this will be helpful for you. Well, thank you again, Marcia, for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kat.